Let's look at some of the most improved, I threw you a little bit, offensive lines.
What do you say to that?
Post-draft, post-free agency. Let's start with your Giants and talk about their hog mollies.
Yeah, the Giants certainly need it. We saw Eli kind of running for his life. Really, it's been for the last couple of years building. And I think Dave Gettleman did in one draft what Jerry Reese hasn't been able to do in a few, and that's fix the offensive line. Now, you couple that with signing Nate Solder. So they got one of the best guards in the draft, Will Hernandez, and Nate Solder, the best free agent left tackle. Let's take a look at him and how athletic he is. Now, of course, you know Nate Solder as the left tackle for the Patriots. So he's so athletic. He's got really long arms, too. And I think he's grown into one of the best and most athletic left tackles in the league. Now he gets to protect Eli. And then you bring in this guy, and you're going to put Will Hernandez right next to him. Will Hernandez, they're bringing him in for one reason. That's to maul people. That's to get people on the freight train and run right behind him. Goal line and short yardage has been a thorn in the Giants' offensive side for the last few years. That's what Will Hernandez is going to bring. So this offense is going to look totally different with these two guys right here up front. They also signed Patrick Amame, who was the left guard at Jacksonville, so he could very well compete at the right guard position. And I think this offensive line is already remarkably improved in a number of areas.
You solidified the whole left side of the offensive line. What does that mean for Eli?
Well, first of all, it means run game is going to be decent. The last couple of years, their run game has really, really struggled. So for me, just having the threat of a decent run game, bringing in Nate, bringing in a guy in that can really road grade so you get some positive yardage. You're not in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12s all the time. That's just the worst possible scenario because then you're in obvious passing situations. Your quarterback can't make a play. So keep the quarterback clean in the passing situations that are friendly now because you're going to have better down and distances. That's what a good offensive line does for me, honestly. It keeps you honest in the down and distance.
And you know better than anybody, your left tackle, just knowing that, hey, you can feel you have time to step up and move. That's a game changer.
Buy a little time for that receiver.
You can see the right tackle. If the right tackle gets beat right now, you can see it. Left tackle, you can't.
Great point.
He actually might not know as well as anybody.
I've seen it.
Situation.
Hey, you're being now you're being a hog.
I'm just saying. You
hogfish.
So this is weird. The Patriots lose Nate Solder, yet you still feel like they improved on the offensive line. How?
Yeah, they lose Nate Solder. They basically they're not going to pay him. It became Moneyball for the Patriots, and so now they have a huge void. Well, during the draft, they end up trading for Trent Brown. And then they pick up Isaiah Wynn in the first round. Now, a lot of people projected Isaiah Wynn to maybe move to a guard because he's not that tall, but I think he's one of the most athletic tackles that came to come out in the draft. Let's take a look at both these guys. Trent Brown is a mountain of a man. So, they lost Cameron Fleming in free agency as well. They re-signed Leandrin Waddle, and they have Marcus Cannon. But Trent Brown, I don't think they want him to play left tackle. He could probably try, but he's a good right tackle. And then you've got this Isaiah Wynn guy right here. Look at how athletic he is. Watch him punch the hip right here, get up to the second level. If you need to kick him into guard, he could easily handle that. But I think he's got the footwork and the athleticism to play left tackle. Here he is in space. So you got opportunities there. And I think that the Patriots offensive line with Dante Scarnecchia, he does a great job with young offensive linemen. This is a nice little pocket being formed for the Goats.
And I love that it's not always about measurables with the Patriots. Just because he's not 6'5" and he's only 6'3" doesn't mean that he can't play tackle in the NFL. So for Tom Brady, this means?
It means protection. And when you really think about it, the teams that have been able to beat the Patriots are the teams that can get pressure with their front four, right? So if you're rushing four and you can get to the quarterback, that's just bad because, well, first of all, there's no coverage that Tom Brady hasn't seen. He's seen every coverage, so you can drop all these elaborate cover two, roll, cloud coverages.
If you have AFC Champions game a couple years ago, right? That guy right there, Von Miller.
If you got a guy like this coming at you, it doesn't matter what coverage you're playing. You only have 2.5, max 2.8 seconds to get the ball out of your hand, right? Unless you have some guys that they brought in because you lose Nate Solder. You can't go into this thing thinking you're going to be back in the AFC Championship game, possibly the Super Bowl, if you don't have guys like this up front to protect that guy.
Think about the Super Bowl. The biggest play at the end of the game was the sack forced fumble by Brandon Graham.
And
that was Brady. He had enough time. He was just trying to make a play.
And if their offensive line is even better, how Patriots is that after they lose Nate Solder?
Yeah.
You really like what the Colts did. I know this guy is one of your favorite linemen in the draft, if not the favorite lineman you had in the draft.
I thought he is the best player in the draft overall. I haven't seen an offensive lineman come out of college this NFL ready. So, yeah, for the Colts, this was a slam dunk. Look, he played at Notre Dame, so it's a 2.5-hour drive from there. But Quentin Nelson, drafting him in the first round, and getting Braden Smith, another guy who could play guard and tackle, I think that really is going to solidify this interior. There's a reason why Andrew Luck hasn't thrown a football. All right, he's gotten the you-know-what kicked out of him. The most sacked quarterback and hit quarterback since he came in the league, I think. But here's Quentin Nelson right here, the athleticism. He shows right there on the pole. But he's a mauler. I mean, he is physical up front at the point of attack. He is going to get the ball rolling. And listen, I think you're going to see a different Colts offense. They want to be more physical. They want to run the football. Here's Braden Smith now, in pass protection. He's very athletic. He's very stout up top. Here he is playing tight end in a running situation. They kind of brought him out in space a little bit, so it kind of shows his ability to kick outside if they needed him to. So I think it's a huge upgrade for Indy. Now they just got to wish and hope for luck.
That's the biggest thing is this guy hasn't even really started to throw a real football yet, right? And so we have to protect him. So you go out and you do exactly what Sean said. You get the best football player in the draft to protect your franchise quarterback. Hopefully he can get back on the field. The league's just better when Andrew Luck's out there. I want to see him get back and healthy, but you got to have guys like this to protect him.